That's not the Hulk. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello, and yes, that is not the Hulk, but this is for Pow. And that's what we're going to be painting today. But I was just doing some designing, putting into life one of my OG characters by the name of Ifo Moon's daughter. And that's it, really. I'm just trying to find my character in the reference that I used, and that's it. And I got kind of like stuck here. And what I'll do is I'll probably bring it back up on Wednesday or something. What it is? How you doing, Ike? How you doing, brother? Happy Monday. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, man. Good to see you. All right, that's enough of that. So yeah, it looks weird from this angle, but she's supposed to be big, physically imposing. And this angle where she's sitting, the perspective might be a little bit off, but that's all right. It's all a work in progress, man. Life is a work in progress. What it is, Saboteur? Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'll show it. I'll show it again, but pow! The original face of the model, her chin was here resting on her hands and leaning very romanticized. She even has swords, which I omitted. But I'm not going to romanticize or sexualize my female character. She is a fighter and a warrior. She is feminine in certain things when she loves, but when it comes to her presence, I wanted it to seem imposing, and the femininity of it is in the inside. Nah, I mean, my cousin says that all the time, and I hung out with him and spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, for Pete's sake, and everything was nami, word, sentence, nami, and ever since then it got stuck. Anyway. Yeah, man, the weekend was fantastic. I hope yours was good as well. So yeah, that's it, man. I like the pose. I'm gonna do more of these type of figure studies, and I'm trying to find. When writing my story and putting it together, I did not create a Bible, a visual Bible for my characters. I was writing more from the inside, from the emotional part of the character first, and then they are slowly coming to light in my mind, especially the young lady here, Ifo, and her brother, Enix. So I've only drawn him once, and I didn't like it, so I'm still trying to find it. Anyway, that's that. It's warm in my office. I got the wet palette going. The sponge has been schmoistened, and this isn't going to be very much. There's not going to be a lot of science behind this. Take that out. Here, you guys can check out the reference. Bam, right there. That's not bad. Put it to the side. I'll lower it there, but I don't know how that's going to look on screen when it's embiggened, but it is what it is. I'm not looking at that reference. That's for you guys, for y'all. And I think I'm going to do mostly the solid stuff. So today I'm going to work right now on the yellow. And we're going to go from there. I might do all the yellow and the reddish stuff today. So we'll see what happens. But trying to get a little emotional win. Today was tough. I had a fantastic weekend, though. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend as well. There's no signs here. This is just fluid acrylic, dried fluid acrylic on artboard. What is this? 12 by 16, I think. Did I? Yep, 12 by 16 artboard. I drew this a while ago. I regular pencil, sprayed with fixative, poured over with acrylic. I may have done gesso. I can't remember. It's been a while. Let's just go. Stop playing around, right? This actually might be one of those paintings that would have been best done all in acrylic. Because I'm looking for bold on some of these forms. There's not going to be a lot of gradiating. Is that a word? Gradiating? Yeah, why not? Let's make it up. Gradiating and blendification, especially on the title here. I just want to see this pop. Yeah, today turned out to be busy, which is why my stream is late or later than usual. It's all right. I actually still do have some acrylic paints. I think it might be time to get those out. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I thought I burnt out. I thought I burnt out. I was trying to put some stuff draw earlier today when I had windows to do so, and it was growing frustrating. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened. And then I just kind of slowed down and I did the drawing there of my character using reference and just kind of like let it happen, but didn't want to feel constricted to the reference. But it was really frustrating. I'm like, what the heck? J-O-M, Fish. J-O-M. How you doing? Good afternoon. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Get comfortable, man. I even tried some on a side note, I tried some acrylic gouache. I have black acrylic gouache and I don't like it. I got it because I wanted a pure black pigment, which is kind of like it's an oxymoronic thought when using gouache and trying to get that type of a pure pigment because of the opacity and original opacity and nature of gouache, then that can build up its opaqueness. But I didn't like it. So I don't think I'm going to go the acrylic gouache route anytime soon. I think I'm going to stick to gouache, and I think that if I have any acrylics still, I got to check if they're still good. JOM, the Hulk is fighting the leader. Here, this is the I redid this cover. Hold on, let me get it out this sheet. So, he's fighting the military. I think that's the military, or it's the his gamma base. So it might be military, and then the leader on top. And what I did was I scanned it so I can resize. So I can resize certain things and move things around. I resized the Hulk to make him bigger on the composition and move the title, obviously, from the top to the bottom. Have you guys ever heard of Frog Boy on YouTube and on Instagram? It's another artist. He actually is the artist that inspired me to try to do these recreations, these cover recreations. He's really good. He has a interesting way to transfer the original cover artwork by and I don't think he would mind me saying this stuff because he actually shows the process. He scans it, embiggens it, and because he uses giant canvases, I think larger than the 18 by 24, if I recall. And then he transfers it on the canvas and then inks it in black. Obviously. Then paints it in acrylic, starts the process, and then re-inks it. Re-inks the lines. It looks so good. If you guys get a chance, I'll see if I can put up his link. I don't know if he's done anything more recent on YouTube. I know that I recently found him in Instagram, but I've been following him here on YouTube for several years. When I started Googling how to paint comic covers and stuff like that, when I started messing around with the gouache. He did the Barry Windsor Conan cover, #1. He did a really cool Neil Adams Green Lantern. The dude's name was Frog Boy. You know what? Let me get that for you. How kind of me to have you guys leave my stream so you can check out dudes. But if you get a chance, you don't have to do it now. But I'll put the link up for you. He has several process videos on his YouTube. But again, I'm a fan of his. I found him. I said what's up to him on because I'd be creeping. Frog Boy. Let me see if that's how you spell it. Yep, that's the guy. How embarrassing. Apparently I have unsubscribed. Now I got to resubscribe. Skapow. There you go. It sucks that on OBS I can't. I would have to try to sign into my own chat on the OBS, but even then, it's never all that successful. So I gotta go through this rigmarole just to do it. Make sure I'm muted. Here, you guys, if you guys on the horizontal want to check out his artwork too. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right, where is I? There's that. So yeah, his process kind of was earwigged into my subconscious watching it, and it really is impressive and beautifully done. I'm trying to just go through all of my paints. I'm using my Artezas for now. It's no biggie. I got a bunch of paints everywhere, and you gotta use them, man. Waste not, want not, right? And I think this is going to be my project for the week. I have several. Look at that. It doesn't dry that quickly, Mel. The cool thing about painting the way like this is that you don't have to maintain your canvas like on an easel or anything like that propped up. I can paint this comfortably. I have a feeling that painting this stuff here first is going to be, it's going to cause me some issues later when it comes to the rest of the background. So I'm going to have to practice some patience and some steady hands. In this color, it looks like Pope Comic original. Yeah, man, that's the goal, brother. I love Pope Comics. I love the look of those old paintings, and it's something that I am trying to adapt and build in this little adventure that I'm going through. I finally figured out after a existential weekend about who I am and what type of an artist I want to be, and appreciate my limitations and be honest with myself with my ceiling and my attic and my basement, and being realistic and knowing what lane I'm going to be in and be successful, because that's the whole point, and enjoying myself. That's also the point of being on my own. I'll be a fine artist, yeah, but for here, as I try to build my career and become a professional for realsies, a cover artist and a pinup poster painter, but mainly cover artist and pinups, I think I can do that. I know I can do that. See if I can bend some ears this Saturday in the FloridaCon in Jacksonville. Anybody from Florida is gonna be there, let me know, so I can say what's up or avoid you, one of the two. Or you can avoid me and be the weirdo with the hat. All right. Man, Wait till I start. I'm going to be using a lot of the tones from the comic cover. I'm just going to mellow them up. Mellow them up. I won't use white as the highlight. I think it'll be better if it was an orangey color. Orange and purple looks amazing together. Watch, watch, watch. Swish, swish, swish. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I've been talking about going to that place. I gotta buy my tickets. The hell? Now it's time to use my favorite color, and I'm so disappointed that Arteza doesn't really have it. And it's this fiery orangey yellow. So I'm gonna have to use whatever this is. That might be too close to my base. Man, it's one of my favorite. That vermilion and ponchio, if you want. I think that's how you pronounce it. One of my favorite. Would turn into one of my favorite colors. That orange. We're going to be blending, so I need one of my better blending brushes. Ooh, say that. 3 times fast. Is this Filbert? Filbert. Sounds like you, but like your neighbor that you don't like. Filbert. Like Jerry. Jerry. No offense to any Jerrys out there. Love y'all. This is my favorite brush to blend in, and it's my favorite brush to do organic. Like muscle blending, because of the round edge, and you can get a nice sharp edge sometimes with it, and you can blend in nice and freely. All right, so we're gonna do yellowish to the darker colors, yellowish to fiery orange, which may not show up so much because of that. Because of that, use your words, Mel. Burnt sienna background. Which is this, which has been, dude, I'm giving you guys a trade secret. This has been a game changer for my backgrounds. I'm actually going to do, before I dip, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do a underpainting, acrylic underpainting on my Dr. Doom. My Dr. Doom is just Doom, Mr. Von Doom. Oh, I wish I had glow in the dark. You see, and now I'm scatterbrained. I'm just having my second cup of coffee now at 5 in the afternoon. But yeah, this thing here, it's easy to move around the page. Very fluid, very liquidy. Use a little bit of water, creates a fantastic wash. I think I made this wash a little too dark, in my opinion, but it is what it is. We live and learn. But I'm gonna do the Doom piece because I don't want to pretend I'm not gonna paint it. Yeah, you can't even see it. It just kind of like fills in, which is all right. Just know that it's happening. That means I'm going to have to use the yellow here. And then I can show you guys some of my other pieces, what I got in mind for the future. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, I've been in a pretty good groove lately with pencils. I haven't done any inking recently, but eh, I want to. But I have to find a way to concentrate on what I really am trying to do here. Guys, I want to be a painter. I am a painter, so I hope I can say that. I've been painting pretty consistently, use your words now, for the last 2.5 years, right? I think I could call myself a painter at that point, or no? Thanks, Ike. I appreciate you, bud. That's right. That's like the. I remember asking. So when can you actually call yourself a professional? I'm just gonna blend a little bit into this yellow, but I am going to revitalize that yellow in a moment. I'm just trying to get that gradient. I'm trying to draw in perspective, but I can't say that I can yet. Dude, perspective is it's a tricky piece, man. I honestly, like you gotta trick your mind into saying it looks good. I think our mind is stuck on 2D, right? Right in front of us, a flat plane right in front of us, and we have to trick it into going, nah, man, because there's no window there. So I understand what you mean, man. I did a 3 point perspective recently. Again, I've been saying about this David and Goliath painting that I got in my mind since forever. So I'm going through a lot of practicing, and I have to tell my mind, it's all right, man. I know it looks weird. I know it looks off, but it's correct. Just trust me. Just trust me a bit. I love they snuck in some Kirby crackle in that. But it's all in the coconut, brother. I need to start with pencils first. Um, yeah, man, you're going in with pen is really something else. But I think that once you go in with pencils, get that muscle memory. I think the pen will get there. I don't think this. I gotta take a step back sometimes. So I don't think this is gonna be the. It's definitely not the final. JOM, I'm not ignoring you, buddy. I just got two streams going. You said, did I know that Arnold Schwarzenegger auditioned for the role of Hulk? Is that right? Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that. Also, we might be buds because there's nothing like what I call useless knowledge that excites me more, especially about movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So keep them coming, bro. Keep them coming. I did a study, a quick kind of like freehand study of 3-point perspective, because I was trying to remember how I did it in my first in one of my art classes. Where's my book? I don't think it's this one. Let me make sure. It might be this one. But I ended up. Where are you? Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I ended up. I couldn't remember. I was using the technique that they show you when doing buildings, and how to do the divisions for the floors of each individual floor in perspective. Let me turn this off. And I did it that way because of the way I build the figure, using the head as a unit of measure. So if the head is the unit of measure, and I usually draw my characters, my superheroes or whatever, my figures, 8 heads high, then I went and did the division of 8 heads on the building perspective, and then started to draw, knowing that, okay, the head is here, that's where the chin would stop. I know in the second measure of the head is half of the neck, the clavicle, and some of the chest piece. So anyway, so on and so forth. And it helped me. I mean, I know it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not perfect, but it gave me I think I'm onto something type of feeling. I know I should have went a little bit further and harsher in the perspective. I think this knee actually needed to be higher, about up here somewhere, right? And then because everything is closer to me, so it had to be bigger. So that helped me. Maybe that's something that we can put into practice in real time, just to kind of like look at it. Because not that my method is the way or better or whatever, but sometimes we have to see it. Yes, measuring the distance between floors. It helped me. Again, a lot of the things that I do is based on of incorrect or kind of like bad habits. Cue Ed Sheeran. And I only say that because although I took figure classes and stuff like that, a lot of the figures that I built myself, my art world around, has been comics, and they're not all accurate. We know that. We know this, man. The worm's eye view, that's right. At least they look like boxes. Yeah, man. Yeah. All I really needed it was for the divisions of the floor, and I can try to like fit my pieces in there. Yeah, absolutely. Where am I? What was the original color of the Hulk for the comic? He was always supposed to be green. It was an error. And there you go. You want nerd alert? It was an error in the printing that made him look gray, and they kind of dug it that way. See now, he's getting shot in the back, so I wonder if I should keep. I don't want to mess with the figure just yet. His background is red and black. See if I can kind of like finesse this here. I don't know if that's gray. Is that black? Nope, that's blue. Where the hell's my stuff? Oh. People are more complex. Yeah, brother, but I mean, it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind, man. And if you can, it's all about weird mathematics, man, and patterns. If you could put them into patterns, you can fit them in there. It can be done. It's more putting it into practice than anything. I don't know if this is gonna work the way I'm thinking. Huh? I think this is that orange. I think this is that vermilion I was talking about. Looks like a sentinel. Yeah. Come on, baby. Open up. I'm afraid to always put pressure on these to open because I feel like they're going to just break or they're going to spill all over the place. Ow. Give me my Wheaties, man. All right, let me get a small flat. You know, sometimes I know they say, oh, don't use black to darken or shade. I understand that, but sometimes it just looks good. But I understand you want to try to avoid black as your shadow color as much as possible. Oh, brother. Yeah, man, get some rest, dude. I appreciate you swinging through. As always, man, have a fantastic rest of your night. God bless you. Love you. Mean it. I'll see you on the next one, kid. All right. Let's see. Appreciate you. Appreciate you always. It's too. It's all right. I'm just gonna put a smattering of red in there. It's interesting because it's just kind of like, that's the one thing I don't want to do is simplify this stuff here, but it is what it is. I'm going to have to add some more black to that. One of the things that I'm constantly asking myself about my artwork is, because a lot of it is comic book based, do I retain the line art? Or am I just going to try to paint the form? And I guess there really is no concrete or solid answer for it, just because everything is fluid. The thought process is fluid. And I guess it'll always be about what'll make it look best. But I've always had this thing about paintings, and looking at paintings from like Julie Bell and Boris and even the Hildenbrand brothers and Joe Jusko. They don't have line. They don't have the line art. The black line art is what I mean. Because they paint the form. Da. It's it's still warm in my office. This wet palette, my room is so dry it doesn't stand a chance. You see how dry it is here, as opposed to the edges. So I gotta find a way to kind of like keep the door closed. You can't air condition the whole neighborhood. I'm gonna need a bigger brush. I think that'll work. That looks pretty. That looks pretty solid, almost like fuego. All right, so I'm gonna need a bigger brush. I wasn't expecting. Actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't know what to expect today. Like I said, I had a case of the Mondays. I hate that, and I hate giving it just a title. But it was more of an emotional thing than it was anything else. Maybe I'm tired. Definitely tired. Like I said, I thought I was burning out when I couldn't draw a straight line earlier. I may be painting myself into some trouble, and I'll explain because I'm using black early. I'm using dark tones early, and I still need to go into and draw, paint with lighter colors. And if I get near any of this black paint later on, it's going to activate. But because I'm a rebel, Dottie, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then I'll blame the medium. I'll blame you guys if it doesn't work. Like, cool with you guys? Thanks. All right. Just gonna bridge the gap. Black down here. Yeah, now my palette's not doing too good. Also, it's not. I'm using regular palette paper. I'm not using the sheets that come with the wet palette. They just feel like very thin palette paper. So I figured be frugal and use what I got, but I don't think that's gonna work. So apparently Supergirl's not doing too good, huh? And I saw it a couple of weeks ago. It's not a bad movie. It's not great either, but it's not bad. It's not so bad that it deserves the type of critique that it's getting. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the heck. I don't know what's happening, right? Like when James Gunn was chosen to create this world of his, weren't people happy? Weren't people like, hell yeah? They turned on him quick. In their defense, his movies haven't been too strong. And I didn't care for Peacemaker. That first season for me was quasi enjoyable. Suicide Squad was fine. The Suicide Squad. But anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why. But I don't know what we want anymore. Do we want original stories or do we want adaptations? And if that's the case, what Supergirl story would have been a better adaptation? If it's neither, none, that's fair too. I think those are his pants. I read somewhere that I guess he's doing, or they're developing a Mr. What was his name? Mr. Terrific, who allegedly was the best thing about that Superman movie, but now people are going, why? Why? Nobody's asking for it. Well, wait a minute. Wasn't he the best thing about that movie? Wasn't it transcending? Or transcendent? Now it's like, we don't need three-tier heroes? Wait, I thought he was his champion in that movie. He was the best thing about that movie. Just don't make a movie out of him. So I don't know, anyway. They just DC just hasn't been able to print money the way they were able to when Nolan was doing his Batman, and even, shudder to say it, Snyder. You guys say whatever you want about Man of Steel, well, that thing made bank. And then Justice League flopped, but tragically, his daughter passing. Come on, man. And the Whedon didn't do anything to help it. He made sure to let people know it's not that it wasn't his fault. But we were so hyped. Well, the royal we, because I didn't really care. Released the Snyder Cut, and that was a 4-hour marathon of somebody shitting in your shoes. What a bloated mess that Snyder Cut was. As soon as those Norwegian ladies started singing, no offense to the Norwegian ladies, you killed it. You nailed it in that scene. Nailed it. Cue SpongeBob, man. Oh brother, this guy stinks. But anyway. Now what? Now what's next? Spider-Man's is next. Depressed Peter Parker. Stalking his ex-girlfriend. It's hard to get some type of anticipatory excitement when it's never left. Right? We all know the expression about the heart growing fonder with absence. How? How can we feel any type of fondness or absence when it's constantly there, using our toothbrush? I don't know, looks good. Looks like fire, fire, fire. Sorry if I keep moving. I just wanted to make sure you guys see the whole thing. But we're moving along. This is a process I haven't tried yet. Doing bits and pieces. I've fallen into the trap of working a ton of the page and having all my colors on my palette and going in and doing this, that, and the other, and feeling rushed and scatterbrained sometimes, and reloading. And I'm digging this kind of like this slower, more methodical process of just finish what you're working on. I'm working on backgrounds today. We're doing backgrounds, right? All right, what else? Ooh, anybody here watching X-Men 97? I'm gonna leave some space there for red so it don't look like cracks. So they did something cool. No spoilers. I won't talk about the episodes, but they did something really cool in episode 2. Well, because the team is scattered in time, some of the team, no, the whole team, the ones that remained in present time, had to do some drastic things and create a new team by the name of X-Force, which is kind of cool. So I'm actually going to do something with that. With that version of the X-Men team, X-Force team. And then I'm gonna show you guys the giant painting I'm working on. All right, I'm gonna try to get into a groove. I'm going to let the music play. You guys can interrupt at any time. First finger snap of the day. Spirits lifting. Let me show you guys the blend I got going on for this smoke effect going on in the background. Is that top layer white, primary blue, aquamarine blue, and whatever this red mixture is. I think it's vermilion, which gives it that weird, I don't even know what kind of color that is. Puke. Anyway, I saw a video, not random, I clicked on it, how an artist painted clouds, and I thought it was very beautiful the way he did it, and I figured it might work here. I don't know. It looks voluminous. I'm going to add more white later, maybe, or gray-ish. Because that's really it. That's all on that reference, that's really all that is there. This color's going to make that yellow. It's going to make the blue pop. I'm going to go back with another layer of yellow. Because it is warm in here and I got my fan on. But we're doing the thing. We're doing something. While I have my yellow, I'm gonna do his blast. You see how dull these dried out, but it has some life in there. I'm digging it. So yas. So the last thing I'm gonna do on this stream is actually I'm gonna go ahead and do the acrylic wash over the Dr. Doom that's in blue pencils. I'm curious how that's going to turn out. This is kind of a purple-ish too. One thing I like about these multiple color, these Artezas, they have a lot of nice colors in them. Anyway, I can't even have a singular train of thought. I'm just actually really happy to be doing something creative. It's a weird day, but I'm, for as weird as I was or felt, I am really blessed. I have an amazing family that cares for each other and takes care of each other. That's all we really can ask for, right? This got to blend into his back leg here. So I need to keep that in mind. And I'm going to put some purple there. I like it. But yeah, man, I don't know what the heck happened. The devil's a liar, guys, period. And you always look for ways to ruin your day. Because what you're doing, he don't bother you when you're doing bad. He bothers you only when you're doing good. So I must be doing something good. All right. I'm using this flat brush, this squared up brush, just so that I won't have to be trying to be too precise in what I'm doing. I want it to be spontaneous. That's not really the word I'm looking for. Loosey goosey. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this white back here. It was the most amazing thing about gouache is that it will blend downwards. Also, you really should try to move the brush in one direction. If you don't want to, if to prevent any muddiness or over mixing. So I should really concentrate on going from left to right. And if I want to blend, then obviously. But I don't want, I just want volume here. And I want it to break apart. To give your eye some place to kind of like focus. And it looks really harsh now because there's not a lot of stuff around it. All right, that's done for that. For your eyes to focus. Focus. Give it some harsh. All right, that's his jacket. That blue is like an aquamarine. There's a little green in that blue. I like it. Let me see if I can find that green. The blue I'm talking about is his, that blue on the Hulk comic. God help us. On the logo. Adds a little green in that, I think. Or maybe it just looks that way because of the yellow next to it. There's only one way to find out, and it's to put some green on my palette and see if I can make it happen. Just a bit. This one. Too much. Not enough. What do you think? What do you think? That little bit right there, that should work. I think it's a little lighter. Nope. Just ruined it. All right, let's see if this will work. I think it looks darker. Now I don't know what to do. I could always go over it again. Let's keep going. It actually looks too green. That means I'm gonna have to add some blue to it. I could always go with another layer later. I'm going to use a different brush. Added a bit more blue to the mix. And like I said, it'll blend downward, so. You might need more than one layer. So this is the benefit, the huge benefit of not doing the underpainting with gouache and doing it with acrylic, because it won't muddy up the color. You only want the temperature to change, right, when you do underpaintings, and sometimes it's simply just so that you won't have the distraction of a white canvas. But you could really change the mood just by changing the underpainting. This scene is very warm in the sense that there's explosions, there's fire, there's laser, so there's a lot of red going on in it. So that underpainting works. But I didn't want the red to mix into my paints. I didn't want the burnt umber to mix with my next layers, which can happen. It has happened. Especially with gouache, because gouache is blah blah blah. It is a water-based medium, which means if you're gonna add water, you're gonna activate the layers, and the more you paint, you already know. Ya tú sabes. But using the acrylic, once that dries, it dries permanent. Because sometimes when you would, for this instance here, if I use the gouache underpainting, this blue might start getting a bit muddy and dark and adding a little bit too much warmth because of the background color. Sometimes, depending on the opacity of the paint, you may want to keep some of that background alive, cutting through. Sometimes you want it, sometimes you don't. You see it a lot in oil paintings when they let the background breathe. But also I've also heard in some instances for newbies, fill the canvas, paint everything. Don't let nothing breathe. And that'll help you not be so romantic with the colors. You gotta let it go. And your tools, use it. All right, I think that looks good. I need to do some darkening, but I think that looks good there. I may have to do some drop shadow on the incredible part, but I think that's good. Where are we? What do we need? Let's do a quick checklist here. Background needs another layer of black to pop. That needs some white back here. That needs that's his laser blasting. Let's do the laser. What else? Highlights. I really don't know how. I'm gonna set a little bit of orange on that background, or maybe some earth tone. That's gonna be a light purple to dark. In the original cover, there's a guy standing here. I didn't draw the guy. Got a little lazy. It's Lil Jon. Plus, when I made the Hulk bigger in the composition, I scooched him over, and I don't want anybody else here. I think this is a pretty good composition here, where the leader yokes up his face. You get a nice cross section across the border of the frame, right to the title. Duh. I don't know how I'm going to paint this guy. Let's work on this now. I got my purple and my white for this. I'm going to use pure white up here. Oh yeah, we're going to do the laser. Let's do the laser. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my palette. It's not staying moistened like I'm used to. That's what she said, and that's inappropriate. Gonna have to use a different brush. Maybe not. See, what I don't want to do, the whole point of when I bought this palette, I don't think you guys need this anymore. I'll put it back up if you guys need it. Ooh, move that. Move that. Move that. Maybe, does that help? Not really. There you go. Some interactive television. What the heck was I just talking about? Oh yeah, my palette. What I don't want to do, what I don't want to do is continue to add water to activate my dry pigments, right? Because what happens is you begin to, in my opinion, dilute the strength of the color. That was causing a lot of my older paintings for me to overwork them or work more on them. More on doing it this way with the wet palette, which is it's supposed to be used, I think, or traditionally used with for painting figurines. Not necessarily what I'm using it for, but who cares? We ain't a boss man. So that it allows me to have the purest form of that color, which is what you want. I don't want to use so much water that it dilutes and continues to dilute it, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, my room is warm. The palette paper that I'm using is not the right one. Shame on me. I want to show this blast on them. Give it a little bit of energy. I was looking at anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. And like I said, it's really warm in my room. It's 92 degrees, a beautiful 92 degrees out here in sunny Florida, the Sunshine State. That laser gets lost because there's so much of the same color. I didn't want to do it so early, but we're going to have to add some white. And I'm going to use this type of Hemi. So right now I'm using a mix of Hemi white, some creative inspiration black, which I'm using it because I has it. I'm using my Arteza Gouache and Winsor Newton. I have a blend of all of them. Not really a blend, I'm just using all of them. Because why not? The only ones I'm not using are my Holbeins, which I'm gonna have to eventually do it. I have to. All right, flat. So what I'm gonna have to keep doing is using a bit of paint from my palette and then closing it. All right, here we go. White. It should be like a blue, but who cares? Who cares? Or gray. I love the way JC Leyendecker does his backgrounds, and you can just see all the brush strokes that he uses or that he lays down. It's just so satisfying to look at the patterns that he would create. There you go. I'm beginning to see some of my pencil lines. I would love to try to emulate that one day. Some of the detail here on the pencils is hard to see, but thank goodness I have the reference behind me. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's supposed to be. I added it in there as a design element, and I can't tell you what it is. The thing that's going to be really difficult, I can see it right now, is painting the individual pieces. To his machine, man. I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that. So I'm going to have to do very little blending and seeing if I can I'm just trying to get this for the gram, y'all, so I apologize if my phone is in the way. The struggles, man, the struggles of being a professional artist. In a company of one. So I got to remind my the president of my social media platform to don't forget the gram. painting around the debris. They really did use a lot of the same color. Maybe I did. But that's what the inker's lines really do help. Again, that's the question I was asking earlier about how to create this art. Do I want to have lines? No lines? It's okay if that's if that line there is rough because that's the laser. So it could be broken. Give it some energy. The leader's such a goofy villain, but he could have been so intimidating if they would have done him right in that. If in that last Captain America movie, they didn't even give him the. They didn't even call him the leader, man. Who are you? What did he say he was? I can't even remember what he said. It wasn't the leader though. You can hear my eyes rolling in the theater. But what can you do? Alright. Let's put some pure white here in the middle, but we're going to break it up so it'll look like have some texture and power. I like that shot. Hold on, I gotta take a picture of this still picture. Stop there. That screenshot. Me gusta. Maybe I can use it for nice. Alright. I'll probably use it for my screenshot. Not my screenshot, for my thumbnail. Scooch. Make sure you guys see it. Alright, where are we? What do we need? You know, I almost want to paint this white on the Hulk. It wouldn't make sense. Alright, what do I need? Now, you know what? I think I'm just going to keep finagling this background. And whatever's left, we'll tweak it either on Wednesday for the workshop, or we'll leave it alone for Friday. I knew I was going to do that. You guys believe I have not watched any World Cup football? Not that I don't like it. I just don't. I don't know actually why I have not watched any of it. You know what I have been watching though, and I'm a little late to the party, but I don't care. Bear, the Bear. Been binging that with my wife. But I found maybe it's not just me, man. It's just me that found the writing between season 1 and 2 jarringly different. Throughout the first 2 episodes of season 2, I would peek over to my wife and say, "That's not the same show. This feels too sitcom-y." And that first season of The Bear is really friggin' good. But anyway. I think they may have softened the edges too much, but I could be wrong. I don't know. That's how I feel. I'm just gonna stagger some of that black so it'll look more dynamic. It's definitely gonna need more layers, but we cooking with gas right now, buds. What else what am I looking for? That. I need to find a different color for the inside of that. That needs to be dark. Well, now I gotta change this because I don't know who this is. Oh, some Ruski rap. Some Ruski rap. This wall, that tone. I think I'm gonna use some of the smoke color and red and white, like a pukey color for this debris. I just need it to break up. I don't know if it'll translate, but I don't care. I think we're gonna be alright. It just needs to distract the eye. So I'll get to draw the cracks. I don't know if it translates just yet. I'm gonna just add some more. Cool. I got my color for cracks. Sorry, I'm childish. All right. I don't know if you guys can see up there. I'm gonna have to change the camera, but because this is what I feared earlier about using the dark color so quickly. And once you start adding others, and once it touches it, it will. Once you start touching the dark color with your light colors, because of the way gouache is, it will mix into it. But that's all right. Well, I think we're okay so far. I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry so that I can. Let me see if you guys can see it. It's just zoomed in close up, but that doesn't work for you, does it? There you go. I don't know if that worked for you either. Not too bad. So I'm going to try to mix a purplish gray. So I'm going to mix a really light purple and then give it a hint of some black to dilute it. And that's going to be my wall back here, and then it's going to go into a darker purple. So it'll kind of like blend into his pants, maybe not too much. I'm just trying to match a little bit of what's on the cover. Right? We're coming along, yo. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out. I know there's 100 other places you guys can be, but the fact that you're here with me is very much appreciated. I'm trying to see if I can do debris. All right, so I want this to blend into like a dark gray purplish wall. Trying to give it some texture, some sort of breakup. And then right into the black. But yeah, man, like I said, thank you guys and gals. Appreciate you. It's weird how the black is being overpowered so much. I'm trying to make a gradient. But it's just like, it is not, oh, there it is. So I'm just gonna mix it right here on the palette, on the canvas board, artboard, words melt. Then if you add a little bit of water, I'm going to blend them in. Clean my brush and do it again. I like that lavender color. Well, not lavender, that nice light purple. And I don't want to lose it. But I'm going to have to go over it so I can try to salvage it. Then what I want to do is I'm going to add some cracks on the wall. I may have lost that wall. I'm just trying to do, what's the word I'm looking for? Just erratic brush marks to mimic cracks or bricks or whatever. Doesn't really matter. This is just in the background anyway. And then I'm going to go in later with a, so I can define some of these sharper colors for the cracks on the wall. Give it some atmosphere. What I don't want it to do is to distract from the purple of his pants. That's not really, I just figured out, or I just realized that the way I've been blending early in my earlier paintings was not the correct way to do it. You do not want to add water or a damp brush to try to blend your colors. All you're doing, honestly, is removing and muddying what you have. You actually need to do a bit more planning than what I'm kind of like, right now I'm kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Flying off the seat of my pants, I guess that's the word. Janier, how are you? You caught me near the end of my stream, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you for swinging through. Appreciate you. Always. I'm not doing a very good job of blending here. All right. But although I was doing it incorrectly, there is a way where you use a damp brush. You clean it, wipe off any excess pigment that you have, and your brush will have its shape, meaning it'll have no breaks. You see how it's kind of like the bristles are split? You don't want that. You want it to look like that. Sorry. Where the bristles are together, and you get it kind of cool because there's moisture in it, and then just lightly. Lightly, and you'll know when your brush is ready to be cleaned and do it all over again is when it starts splitting up. The hairs start splitting. The bristles. I'm sorry if you can't see that. So, clean it up, dry it off, and it's just kind of like it's a feel thing. It's too wet. I saw this technique done by Ruth Wilshire. I'm sorry if I didn't say her name right. I should be looking these people up before I start talking about them. I can help by giving them proper credit and say their name right. But I believe it's Ruth Wilshire. She's amazing. She does really cool looking forest and atmospheric paintings. Doing this technique like I'm doing here on the wall for background foliage and moonlight, stuff like that, which is I would love to do eventually. All right, so what I like about what that wall looks like, you see how it has some variations in there? I can then go ahead and very loosely kind of like enhance some of those. You probably can't see it on screen. I don't really care to match the cracks on the wall. I just want to add the cracks on the wall. In my drawing, I had it as if there were bullet holes and stuff like that on it. I don't think I'm going to try to replicate those details. I just want some detail, some shadow. Plus, I don't want you to be paying attention too much to the wall anyway. The action is elsewhere, right? But okay. I think that's it for me. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Monday. I know I came on a bit later than usual, but I'm glad you guys went through. Appreciate you always. And I think that's it. I think that's it for this first session. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. So, I'm going to let the music play me off a bit. I'm going to clean up around me. And thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. I love you. God bless you. And until the next time, I will draw you later. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye.